as most of you guys know, we're going to be starting in the church doing a new series called How To. Pretty much what this is, we're going to be teaching different things every week of just how to do basic things. And today we're going to be talking about how to quickly connect with people. Before I jump into the lesson though, we're going to start off with a game, a little interaction. We're going to have the West Bible Talk leaders versus the North Bible Talk leaders. So can I have, and as well, can I have, Chris, Tyrone, and Eric, come on up. Let's have Brandon, E-Man, and Pete come on up. So can you push these chairs in here more? A little bit more. Cool. All right. So wait, North on this side, West on this side. Oh!
Better pray, bro.
All right. This is how the game goes. You guys can just take a seat. So the game goes like this.
Wait, make sure they pray first.
Ooh. So I'm going to be handing one person on each team a card. This card has a lot of different things that they're going to guess. So give you an example, one of the cards might say dog. And so Tyrone, if he's the first person, has to try and explain a dog to his team, and they have to guess it. If they guess it right, they get a point. But the point of the game is they're going to have noise-canceling headphones on, so they're not going to be able to hear themselves speak or to hear if they get it right. I will say if you guys get it right or wrong. There's a little timer right here of how much time you have, but we'll start first with Tyrone, and you're going to be trying to get these guys to guess what's on the card. Does that make sense? On the card, just to let you guys know, it's a green bit. Okay. Okay? It's a little bit at the bottom.
Demonstration.
All right. So here.
Don't we get the demonstration? Do you know what green is?
Put that on real quick.
Wait.
No.
He has to wear it.
I can't tell them. Yeah, yeah, you wear it?
Yes.
Wait, we got to play the music though.
Oh no! Please play something. Why is it hard for you?
Put that one. Hey, Tyrone.
Oh gosh.
Can you hear us? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. So, Tyrone, I'm going to give you these cards. You got to let me see it at the same time. Oh yeah. I'm going to give you these cards. You got to let me see it at the same time because I got to check if they say it right. You're not going to be able to hear them.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So here you go. You can look at it.
Do I have to wait?
It's just this one.
That one?
Yeah, and then you just switch it to the green, okay?
Switch it to the green.
Okay, I'll tap you on the shoulder when I tell you to start.
Wait, so I have to describe it to them?
Yeah, describe it to them.
Okay.
All right. So
I have to say the color too, or it's just an item?
yeah, okay. So just this one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, makes sense? So ready, set, go. No, you guys can't see.
It's a pizza topping.
Pepperoni.
No.
Pineapple.
It's a vegetable. Not a vegetable.
Cheese.
It's not. It's a non-meat
It's a fruit.
topping. There's olives. There's
Onions. Ketchup.
oh, Mario eats those.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms, good, go.
Oh, okay. Which one?
That one.
Green one.
Green.
Oh, these are the They make a lot of noise. They hop around.
Frogs. Cricket.
Cricket, go.
That's right.
You put these in a pot.
All right, time. All right, okay.
I put Melodi's flowers in a pot.
All right, so you guys got, all right, 2 points for you guys. All right, easy. All right, here you go. All right, come on, Wes. Here you go. So put them on. Can you be my timer, actually?
Yeah.
I'll let you know when to go. All right, put it on. All right, ready? All right, wait. Ready, set, go. Wait, talk.
It's 2 words. Yeah. It's found in the sea.
What?
And it stings you. Stingray. Oh no. It's not found in the sea. It stings you. It's an animal. It sprays something on you.
Jellyfish.
It sprays something on you that stings. Jellyfish. It's not in the sea. It's an animal. Yes.
Skunk, go. Keep going.
Green. It turns from something to something else, and we have
Time.
What to say? That's so confusing.
Yeah, I know.
You messed me up.
That's good. All right, so switch. Eric, come over here. Sit down. Come.
Any sea skunks?
Yeah, no, sea skunk. No, bro, it's not a... All right, here.
You messed me up.
All right, here. Can you keep my time for me? Okay. Put that on. They got 2, you guys got 1.
Oh, it's already.
You can see from here. Inside. All right.
Just the green one, yeah?
Yeah, green. All right, wait, no, he already said that one. Ready, set, go.
It's like a bee, but
Yeah, you're good.
it's like a mite. This is another word, like a flea, but in your hair. Fleas in your hair.
Lice.
If you're not drinking tea, then your other option is puppy.
Ooh.
And it has a fin, and it goes up and down. Shark. Up and down. Dolphin. Whale.
Is it time yet? Yes. Oh, wait, no, time. I think it was time. Yeah.
What was it?
Dolphin.
I said dolphin.
Yeah, but I think it was timed already. All right, here, give me that. All right, just hold that for now.
Oh, now you're afraid, bro. You've been humble, haven't you?
I don't even know how many that was. All right, wait, here.
What do you mean?
So the green.
Green, yeah. All right.
Okay, it's very big.
Go.
It swims in the ocean.
Whoa.
Has a big snout, very big, boring.
Elephant, yeah.
A small, cute, not a cat, but a dog. Baby dog. They blow in the wind. They come off a tree.
Wait.
Yeah. Not onions, but you cook with it. Garlic.
Oh, wait, it's time. Time. Your voice is gonna get hurt. All right. All right, here.
That was great.
Brandon, just switch. I put it here. I don't know. Just hold that. Here you go. All right. So the green here. Here.
Okay.
All right, go.
It's a little creepy crawly. A snail. Cockroach. It's a little creepy crawly. A spider. It's a little caterpillar. It's number 1 for creepy crawly. Rolling bullies.
Insect.
You eat it in your rice. And it's a sea creature.
Shrimp.
It's tiny. We have it in our fridge. I don't like it. Are you sure?
Time. What are you doing? Insect.
No.
Okay, here.
Here we go.
All right. Okay, wait up. All right, wait. Before I give it to you, let's see how much we have.
Hey, you jump on, bro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
6.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you need at least 2 to tie, 3 to win.
Come on, bro.
All right. So here you go.
Yeah, Brandon.
Don't look at it yet. All right, ready, set, go.
Okay. Honey. Yeah, bees.
Bees.
It's like a rat.
Wait, let me see.
Mouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a bird.
Eagle.
A bird. What is like a bird? Hummingbird.
Can we skip?
Yeah, one skip.
You can skip. Ink. They spurt out ink. It's in the ocean. They spurt out ink.
Squid.
Wait. Okay. Wait up.
You didn't get it in time. We didn't get dolphin, bro.
Okay. All right, guys. They're the winners. We'll give it to them.
We got 2 to tie.
Oh, wait.
That's a tie. It was 2 to tie. We got 2. You said 2 to tie or 3 to win.
Oh, yeah, you guys did get skunked. It is 8-8.
Yeah, bro.
It is 8-8. All right, so we'll have one tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. All right. So one last one, guys. So I'm trying to. Do I even have any more cards? You guys using them all. All right. Here. Can you look in my bag? There should be more. Oh wait, actually it's right here. Never mind. We're good. We got enough.
We got enough?
Yeah.
You need a timer?
Due to Emmanuel's pride, should we just take the one?
Yeah. Is it going? Okay.
You have to tap me when we go, yeah?
Okay.
Hey, let's start it.
Okay. Go.
It's another word for shrimp.
Prawns.
There we go.
They're like ducks, but they're not. Did you play the game?
Geese. Duck, goose. Goose.
Geese.
It's beef.
Horse.
What is it?
Cow.
Lennox loves this. You run on it in a pitch on the field.
Football pitch.
You run on it on the field.
Grass. Cheetah. No, cheetah.
They eat little insects with their tongue.
Time.
Dang it.
No, time.
Was that anteater?
Yes.
All right. So here you go. So guys, you got to get 5 or more. So pretty much you have to get all of these.
What?
You have to get all of these.
All right.
Okay.
You got his feet?
All right. Ready, set, go.
Okay, not a panther, but a
Koala.
kind of cat. No. Come on, it's a nice car, really nice car.
Jaguar.
A dumb bird.
Penguin. What the heck?
Kinda, you know like a mixed drink, but a bird.
Cocktail.
What's the bird like that?
What the
The bird that's like jumps around in Australia.
Kangaroo.
Grows out of the ground.
Bats.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys get the trophy. Oh. Can you give this to Jamie? No.
Hey, bro.
All right, awesome. So there was a point of us playing this game. See, once you can't hear yourself talk, actually most of us, sometimes in our social interactions, are just like these brothers up here. When we get into a Bible talk, hey, just Bible talk, Bible study, but you guys don't actually know how to deal with each other socially. So that is why we're getting into this lesson today, to actually teach you how to be social and how to connect to people. There's actually research done in UCLA that being social and connecting to people was a fundamental human need just as much as shelter, food, or water. For example, when you have social pain, so as an example, like a loss in your life, a relationship that's lost, it's actually registered in the same place as physical pain is in your brain. And that region of your brain actually tells you of physical or survival needs that you need. So anytime that you're hurt, it's talking about survival. Anytime that you need food or hunger, it's talking about survival. The same thing happens when social awareness happens as well. It goes in the same pain as there in the region of the brain. Too many of us, though, when we get into social places or social environments, too many of us can subscribe and have the mistake and unbelief that only a few people have the natural ability, and it's an unteachable trait how to connect to people. They think, oh, that's just Emmanuel or B out there or Brandon. But actually, it's something that every single person can do. In reality, it's all about equipping and controlling your emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? It's the capability to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, to handle interpersonal relationships empathetically. So in other words, when we get into relationships, I know I did send out a lesson to you if you guys follow along with me. In 1 Corinthians 8:1 it says, "But knowledge puffs up while love builds up." This is something that God has said that each and every single one of us can actually control, and that each and every single one of us can actually develop in our lives. So, though we may never have all the knowledge in the world, we can learn how to love and connect to people emotionally. A part of loving people is learning how to handle emotional situations, emotional people, and just emotional emotions. You know, people come in there with everything. You got to learn how to handle these things. The Bible actually talks about this in 1 Thessalonians 5:14. It says, "We urge you, brothers and sisters, warn those who are idle and disruptive, encourage the disheartened, help the weak, be patient with everyone." We see here in Paul's advice to the church that you deal with people quite differently. You know, if you come up to somebody who is weak, you don't try to encourage them. You need to help them. It's kind of the same thing in your mind. If you saw a grandma walking across the street, right? You wouldn't just go up there, "Grandma, come on, run, walk, you can do it." No, you wouldn't try to encourage grandma if there's a car speeding up. She's weak. You need to help her. You need to go and grab her and help her along. In the same way, when you start to have emotional intelligence, you start to register what actually each person needs. And that's something that you have to in order to connect with people quickly. The first thing we have to look at, though, is point number 1 pretty much, why we don't connect to people quickly. We first have to accept or understand the cause of this before we know the solution. So first we need to understand that every person in the world wants and actively seeks to bond with people. The only matter that you may run into, or the issue, is do they want to connect with you? See, rarely is the case when somebody actually joins a social event, a Friday night or a Sunday, and they come in and on purpose harden their hearts. You know, that's very rare where somebody decides to, "Hey, yes, I'll come check this church out, but I'm not going to talk to anybody." That's actually very rare. More than likely, people go under the same two things, which is either they come and they feel very comfortable and loved, meaning they want to meet new friends, or they come and they feel very uncomfortable, therefore they're looking for somebody to kind of be their comfort. So in any regard, somebody and everybody is always looking to find a friend. But the only thing that is, all this is to say mainly, is that it is our issue. That they really want it, but we got to figure out how do we learn how to connect to these people. You know, we can have all these theories of what's really wrong, but we can really just sum all this up in one universal sin, and that is selfishness. If we look in Proverbs 18:1, it says, "An unfriendly person pursues selfish ends, and against all sound judgment starts quarrels." So whether we are self-doubting, self-absorbed, insecure, comparing ourselves, unconfident, apprehensive, timid, nervous, shy, or prideful, we are ultimately being selfish. Even when you are dealing with insecurities, that is a form of pride, of selfishness, because you're only looking at yourself. And guess what? People don't like unfriendly people. People that are being selfish. So the Bible tells us that we need to understand that we are being unfriendly when we are being selfish in any way. So some of these things, you know, we can be open to giving our money and our items and our time, but are you selfish with your emotions? See, being emotionally selfish is one, if not the primary cause, of people lacking the ability to build relationships quickly. See, you may give people your attention, but are you giving them your heart? Are you really trying to connect with them on an emotional level? See, the Bible talks about this all throughout the scriptures. In 1 Corinthians 13:1-3, we know these scriptures. It says, "If I speak the tongues of men and angels, and I do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. You can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge. And if I have faith and I can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all my possessions to the poor, and give my body to hardship that I may boast, and do not have love, I gain nothing." So it's pretty much saying here, if you're having a conversation without your heart, and that heart overflowing with love, all you are is annoying, you are nothing, and at the end of the day, you're a loser. It's pretty much what it's saying, right? You're a resounding gong, you're nothing, or you haven't done anything. And that's what it says, that if you really want to have an impact, you have to give your heart. So hopefully this realization will spur you to give your heart to people. But there's another scripture that talks about how do we really do this. Another warning is Philippians 2, 3-7. It says, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking at your own interests, but each to the interests of others. In your relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus, who, being the very nature God, did not consider equality with God to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. You know, we always talk about when God says, or Jesus says, hey, you have to give up everything. We always explain everything means everything, right? In the same way, when it says, do nothing out of selfish ambition, it means nothing. Don't do anything with selfish ambition. And see, what can happen is sometimes we don't connect to people because we have the wrong motives when we interact. This can actually creep into the church. Think of how Jesus interacted with humans. He was God, the creator, but he did not consider equality with God to be something used as an advantage. He came down and made himself a servant. Sometimes we can be in the church and we can allow that mindset and those convictions to make us like we're above our visitors. You know, we use that to be our advantage. Well, we know the Bible. Well, we're righteous. And so in our interactions, we have not the best motives. Sometimes we only talk to people in church if they're visitors because we know Joe's going to ask you, did you talk to that person? We don't have a real heart of loving them. Sometimes we have people that are open and studying the Bible with them. The only reason we talk to them in the fellowship is because we're looking for an opening to ask them, when are you going to study the Bible next? We don't really have this one goal and one motive, I just want to love this person. And people can feel that. People know when you're just coming in with the wrong motive. So remember, nothing means nothing. Not even when we want to have our little ambitions of getting Bible studies. Nothing out of selfish ambition. So there was a research that talked about people actually decide if they're going to like you or not within the first 7 seconds of meeting you. After the first 7 seconds, the whole entire interaction, they're just kind of retracing their step back and trying to judge, hey, was our first assessment true or incorrect? So a big part of that first assessment, though, comes down to knowing your body language. First impressions are tightly intimate with positive body language, as communication is mainly communicated through our body language. So it's not surprising that this is obviously very, very important because confidence shows up in our body language. So what is bad body language when you talk to somebody? It's someone who's looking down, shallow breathing, meaning they're breathing quite quickly, avoiding eye contact, touching either your nose or your neck. Your neck they consider as the most vulnerable part in your body, so whenever you touch it, you know you're trying to protect yourself. So that's what they said. Staring, hiding your hands, that means that you're trying to hide something. Crossing your arms, that means you're not open to the relationship. Yawning, meaning you're bored. Leaning towards the door, meaning you want to escape the relationship or escape the conversation. These are all bad things that subconsciously we are doing that they subconsciously can actually understand and interpret as well. So what are good body languages? Well, looking forward, having your shoulders back, enunciating your words, looking at people in the eyes, a firm handshake, smiling, nodding in agreement. These are things that people actually see and register in their mind. There's another useful tool called mirroring, meaning what you do is you actually start to mirror the other person's body language. This is actually a really good tool that we do anyway subconsciously that helps to build and kind of construct our relationships with other people. You know, the obvious forms of mirroring is when you see somebody yawn, guess what? You yawn as well. That's something that actually, that's the subconscious that's telling you to do that. In the same way, if you're around your interests, take notice. Are they doing the same thing you're doing? That's actually, you'll kind of get to see that. So one big thing, before you go out and start mimicking all our visitors and them thinking you're weird, don't do everything they're doing. There's a certain couple things you want to take notice of. Their body posture. Start to stand like how they're standing. Don't stand over them. their alignment, their hand gestures. Tilt your head in the same way. Do their same facial expressions. Their pace, their energy level. Match their energy level. If you're talking to somebody who talks slow, talk slow as well. It'll make them feel uncomfortable and anxious if you talk too fast with them. Again, their tonality, how loud they are. They don't want to be talking to somebody who's shouting at them when they have quite a whisper in their voice. Their language, are you speaking the same language as them? Are you using the same kind of terminologies and everything as them as well? So this is something that when we start to get into our body language and our voice, that's where you can mirror and make them feel comfortable. The next thing you can do is, this is quite simple, and this is the challenge anyways, is be happy. People are attracted to other happy people. Right. So remember, if they're going to start mirroring you, if you start smiling, guess what? They're going to start smiling as well. So that means that makes them happy, and guess what? They like being around people that make them happy, so they want to be around you more. So these are things that you can obviously do to help that. The next thing is be an active listener. So it feels like 90% of our job when we get into the ministry is talking, right? Whether that's in a Bible study, Bible discussion, sharing our faith, or doing a lesson. But the biggest part of conversations and learning how to have a good conversation is actually the first thing you need to learn how to do is shut up. You need to learn how to actively listen to the people. And the Bible talks about this all throughout the scriptures. First James 1:19, dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Proverbs 17:28, even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. Proverbs 29:11, a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. There's a study that says every 17 seconds within a conversation, the other person wants to interrupt. They stop listening and start thinking about their response. They hear all these things and they start, oh, what am I going to say? And they cut off their listening. See, it is the world's character or nature to want to interrupt, but it is Christ and God's character to want to listen. And that's something that we have to develop in our life as well. One practical you can learn how to become a better listener is a simple equation. Repeat, personal statement, and then question. So what that means is you listen to them. After they're done saying what they have said, you repeat not word by word, but you repeat what you understood what they said. Then you say a personal statement, and then you follow up with a meaningful question. Kind of an example. If person one said, hey, I went to work today. I had lunch by the park near my job. Person two should say, oh, wow, cool. You went work, lunch, that sounds good. Man, I wish I had a park next to my work. Do you like eating outside? Do you like the outdoors a lot? Do you like doing things outdoors? So again, it's you repeat what they said, showing them that they know that you're paying attention to them. You put a personal statement. Oh, hey, I'm connecting to you. I like the outdoors. And hey, do you always like it? Get more meaningful questions. This would be an opportunity. Now, again, don't do this everything they say. That can get really annoying. But you really want to do this, especially if they're talking a lot. You want to be able to express like, hey, I heard what you said, and to follow up on that. So if you're not a very good listener, this might be something that you want to interact in every single one of your conversations just to get you on that level. But it's not something you need to do every single thing they said. That would annoy them. The next thing you need to do is find common ground. It's funny, isn't it, right? When we share our faith and we find out somebody is, whether they're from Nigeria, what's the first thing we think about doing? We go around and we grab E-Man, right? Yeah. Because they have common ground. If we find out that someone is Filipino or from Pakistan, we automatically, you got to meet my friend who is just like you. So why don't we take that same advice and find how we can interact and find common ground with them as well? It's the same kind of mindset. So ask questions. There's a lot of recommendations. You can ask questions about family, their personal life, school, where did they grow up, kids, their spouses, their occupation, what do they do for work, or why are they doing that they chose, recreation, what do they like to do for fun, sports, all these different things. The best you can do is try to make a connection, but if you fail in all this, remember this, you need to be more interested than interesting. So if you can't find something to particular, like I don't play tennis with this person, will start being interested in tennis. Find out, like, well, why'd you grow up in tennis? Why'd you do it? What draw you to that sport and not another sport? What did you learn from it? Do you still play it a lot? Like, be interested in what they're doing. Don't just jump to oh, you play tennis? I play American football. Oh, this is good. No, get interested on what they want. And one of the best things you can do, even if you find something that you don't particularly connect with that person, one of the best things you can do is add value to somebody. Allow them to teach you something. So if somebody is doing tennis, I'll say, I've never played. Can you teach me? Now I'm giving value to them. Now it's not just me taking from, not me just giving to them and feeling like, oh, this is a one-way relationship. But now they feel like, wow, they're even connected to me and him giving to me. So this is just another tip. Another tip, even within communication, is be comfortable with using their name in conversation. You gotta draw away from the comfort bro or sis or man. You gotta draw away from that even within conversation. It's funny because people actually like hearing their name. Anytime you hear your name, even if you're not in a conversation, you automatically attract to whatever that conversation is saying. In the same way, they will like you if you start saying their name even within the conversation. So I know I kind of developed this just because I'm bad at remembering people's names. So I actively did it, but I start to see that people, they react to it. So I'll share my faith right when I say their name. I'll be like, hey, so instead of just saying, do you want to, I'll say, so, hey, John, do you want to come on Friday? I'll start using their name as well. That draws them a little bit closer. The last thing here, just my last little advice, is don't be afraid to have deep conversations. Little example, instead of where do you work, ask why did you choose to work there? Just a small example. But I'm going to give you a lot of different suggestions in these next couple of questions here. You go in, if there's somebody that you've been studying the Bible with and you're not really connecting, be up with them. I tell this all the time to people that I'm studying the Bible with. I'm not a mind reader. I am not Jesus. I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know what you're thinking. You need to tell me. And I really want to know. And so that already breaks down the barriers of like, is this person trying to come into my life? I tell them actively, yes, I am. And I don't know what I need to find. I don't know what's in there. You got to help me out in the maze of your emotions. So this is something that would be good if you're not really connecting to some of the people. Go into there and tell them, hey, I really want to get to know you more. Start off and say, hey, what are your views on the world? Do you feel loved? Have you ever been hurt? And if so, how did you come back from that? How did it damage you? Where are you confident as a person growing up? Are you happy most of the time of your life? Is life hard on you? Do you feel loved growing up? Are you often scared? Why do you think the way you do? Help me understand you. Why are you thinking, what do you think about life and God? And tell me why you think these. Your fears, your disappointments. Where are some of the main influences of your life? Why do you think the way you do? Why do you do the things you do? What were your attitudes about the world? What are your thoughts on religion, politics, sex, money, work, values, the soul? Get deep with these questions. And the thing is that we have to remember and understand is these couple of scriptures though, Proverbs 12:18, it says, there is one whose rash words are like swords thrust, but the tongues of the wise bring healing. Above all, in 1 Peter 4:8, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins. This is something we have to remember because sometimes we can be kind of waiting in the outskirts of waiting till somebody gets open and then rebuke their sin. No, if you're going to allow somebody to be open, and when they get open, it is vital. It's actually more than that. It's God's will that you don't take advantage of their openness, but that you use that against them. Instead of trying to find sin to rebuke, you take the time and find the person that is hurt to love. See, it says love covers over a multitude of sins. When you get in these deep conversations, don't just be quick to turn to a scripture. You shouldn't think that way. This is wrong. That's wrong. Just hear them out. Let them be open. And if you haven't done this with somebody that you're studying the Bible with, more than likely you haven't done this with somebody probably even in your own households. So my first challenge I really want to give to people is this week, Go out, take these questions, and go out and pick a sister or a brother wherever you live, and just go out and talk about these things. You'll start to find that, man, we haven't really gotten even deep with each other. What do you think that this person thinks about in your household? Have you even talked deeply with them? So if we're not deep with the people that we live with, how are we going to expect to be deep with people that we're studying the Bible with? So I know there's a lot of different practicals in here. I really want to encourage you, read through this over again and look at things that you can actively change in your own life. See, we always have all these people that come out to church, all these people that are coming to the Bible discussions and everything. They want to connect with you. It is not their issue, it is our issue. And we got to make this of utmost importance to give our hearts to people, to not be emotionally selfish, and to have that emotional intelligence of how to connect to everyone. Hopefully everyone got something from this lesson. Thank you very much.